high school. Okay, what group do you conduct there?
I do the third band.
The third band.
Yeah.
You don't say it like that.
I love the third band.
Okay, that's better.
That's my favorite
I do
group
the
of
third
kids.
band. Yeah, okay. What were a couple of your project pieces for this year?
Like during the school year? Well, so we do a chamber concert every year in the winter, and so actually with a bunch of the wind ensemble kids, I did the Strauss Serenade. So that was like one of my big ones for those guys.
Okay.
And then not really any project pieces with the third band, more about like project pieces for me, just getting better as like a teacher.
Good for you.
and a
Great,
listener.
great. I just didn't know you, other than you from Leander, and I wanted to ask those questions. Your face is great. It's you are obviously engaged. You're feeling the music. You're communicating. At least from my point of view, it was. And I really and truly, I kind of wanted. We kind of say, here's 3 things to think about.
Yeah.
I want for you just a little while to think about only 2 things.
Okay.
Number 1 is that awful curse that we all have. It's called rebound.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets in the way of the music. And I'm not
Right.
sure how we got that into our DNA, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to spend a little bit of time mechanically seeing if we can come up with some ways to think about that.
Yeah.
The number 2, I want you to think very much about the fact that this beautiful chamber music, beautiful chamber group probably doesn't need to be shouted at
Yeah.
gesturally.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe your third band does. I won't
Yes.
go there.
They need to be shouted at verbally and
Yeah.
visually.
But let's go back to the beginning for
Okay,
a second.
absolutely.
Yeah. And would you just forgive me? This is very mechanical, but
Okay.
I just want you to see if you can just. I just want to see. Just do that for a second, okay? So. Even less, just don't let there be any rebound leaking out of your elbow.
Okay.
Okay. If you will be kind enough to let us try that a couple of times, okay? All right. I just want you to, I want you to feel the line that can be there. And we'll talk about little things later, but I just want to see if we can get to the point, the number 2, that it's up here in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Mallory Thompson talks about this is a sacred space here. This is where the music is.
Okay.
And if it's something beautiful, it's going to be here. It's probably not going to be out here or down here or up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Carl St. Clair was here 2 years ago, said some of the most special things he'll ever say, he will whisper.
Okay.
Not yet, okay?
Yeah.
So be special, but let it be a whispered gesture, not a shouted gesture.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Much better. I hope we see on the video that that's light years better.
Okay.
But I want you to do exactly the same thing, except this time, I want you to say it softer,
Okay.
but with more passion.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do my best.
I know you
That's how I go.
Let's try that one more time to see if, it's kind of like Bob was talking to Mike just a minute ago about the fact that there tends to be, the commitment doesn't happen until after the ictus for the first beat.
Okay.
So if, and show that little F some love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and any personality in your thought? Oh, you've written a word on your, is that your word you put on there? He wrote on his score, lush. Yeah. But, my dear friend from Lander, I don't think you showed lush.
Okay.
You showed play, damn it.
Okay. You want to start? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you're the conductor.
6 before the odd tempo, 6 before A.
Okay. Too much stuff.
Okay.
Just get still, love your players, and make music. Gestures round, no rebound. Okay, do you have a word there? Just
I believe I do. Goofy.
goofy.
Yeah.
Okay, goofy. All right. What does that mean?
Just like, no offense to the bassoon, but this is kind of like the off stepchild of that melody that we've heard. So this is like,
Okay, we're out of time, but
okay.
I love the way you're thinking. I really, really do, because, and I'm going to talk about this in my session on Thursday, on the reality that we get so objectify what we're doing with our music that we fail to be, it's a human experience. And that somehow or another, that's what we have to capture. Then that's what we have to replicate when we stand in front of the group.
Yeah.
But you're doing a lot of things well, and I love the fact you love your music.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
So there was a young, this is years ago, so she's not young anymore. There was a woman who was about this tall.
Hey guys, my name is Ben. I'm from the Greensboro area of North Carolina, and it's great to be here with you guys. This is moving through.
She was there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Then she showed up for a lot of things I did, and then she completely disappeared.
Yeah. Yes, you did. I have no.
conduct?
So,
Where do you conduct?
UNC Greensboro.
Are you still in school? So tell me again about yourself.
I'm starting the doctoral program at UNCG in the fall. Just finished the master's.
And who's your major teacher?
John Locke and Kevin Giraldi.
Okay. I know them both very well.
Yeah.
So do what they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's very good. It's very, you're doing well. Most of your music making, which is really good, it's really good music making, happens at the beginnings of things. I'm not, just as you get them doing, then I want to see you carry, this idea goes from here and it goes to there. Much of what we think of as this person is really a good musician is they're carrying the line from one place to another. And right now you're carrying the line at the beginning and then you get into another line or something else happens. So it's the beginnings of things that are influencing you the most. And I'd like to see you take it more. I was a little concerned about the retard you just did because it seemed to be like retards have a pace to them. So once you start the pace of the retard, you have to continue, and then you started a lot of retard right away, which meant the end of the retard was really slow.
I slammed on the brakes.
Yeah, so you might want to think about.
Do that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easier actually if you did not as much retard and then put a little bit more at the end than would be out of pulse. Right. That's easier to get than the reverse, because once you start the pace of the retard, you can't suddenly go faster. You can start any place. You can start where we finished. Well, let's do a couple measures so we can see your A+ retard again.
Okay. How about B?
Okay, that's good. Yeah, just one more thing along the way. It's much more fun on this piece to play first oboe than second oboe. It's more fun to play first clarinet than second clarinet. And therefore, when the second clarinet has the primary music, you want to make as much out of that as possible so that the person feels like, I'm not unimportant after all. Not that you were feeling that, but I mean, there's a chance to psychologically engage everybody. Let's do it one more time. I'm not convinced still about the retard, but. How's he doing?
You asking me how he's doing?
Yeah.
Great.
How's she doing?
Great.
Well, you didn't let them know.
Well, we had a little moment. You're saying there wasn't any acknowledgement.
You don't have to kiss her hand or anything, but we conduct in 3 areas. The first area you do really well, which is this is about to happen. Let me show you what's going to happen right now. And now this is going to happen, and this is you do that really well. And then I think you're actually hearing what they're doing, and that's the second area. What you're not so good at is reacting to what they've just done. And they want to know because they keep asking you this question: how was that?
Right.
Did you like that? Was that good? How good? Did I do well? And you're not if once you keep not answering that question, they stop asking the question, and that's death. When they stop being concerned about what you think of what they just did. So you have to do that individually. You can't do that like I approve of everybody. I mean, it disseminates and it doesn't help. One last time.
Okay.
But let's start right with recaps right after the retard, which would seem to be better this time than the other times.
Right.
You seem to be putting everything within a 4/4 pattern. And in my estimation, most of the significant music making from a conductor happens outside the beat pattern. So you can use a beat pattern when you think they're not with you, or they're kind of rocking and rolling and not together. But don't be afraid to not conduct in a 4/4 pattern.
Okay.
Let's start right after the retard. Whatever the letter number. Nice going. Nice going. Be sure to pay special attention to what Kevin Giraldi says.
I'll tell him.
Hello. This is the fourth movement. I'm Hunter from Virginia, and I'm getting my master's at Michigan State right now.
Hear it. at what point did you make the determination not to use a baton? And why?
I knew that was going to ask that. I think for a couple reasons. One, I'm trying throughout the week to use a baton, not use baton on different pieces, so I can experience the feedback in terms of technique and both.
Both ways, okay.
Secondly, if I was to do this piece on my own, I'd probably not use a baton as much, just because of the openness to communication, possibly, which I can obviously do more of. Even if I'm not using a baton, how do you not use a baton and commit to not using a baton, if that makes sense?
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I had to ask that question.
Of course.
Okay. And the best answer that me personally here, I used the baton for multiple years, and I came to the conclusion that I can be more musical and more communicative without it. That's where the juncture has to happen. And sure, we know people that don't use batons. And some people that say the world's going to come to the end if you don't have one. If you don't have a baton, Chris doesn't have a job when he comes tomorrow to sell batons. So, but that aside, I feel like that you have an incredible amount of music that's in you. There's no question about that. But you're just constantly spraying it
Right. Yeah.
out at people, okay? Rather than being just a little bit more intimate in your gesture,
Okay.
and not feeling like you have to micromanage every beat, okay? So let's go back to the beginning. And just see if you can for right now, first step, just see if we can kind of miniaturize some things.
Of course.
Okay, and that's everything from how much you're using from these hinges up in here, number one, to number two, the amount of real estate you consistently are covering on the,
Right.
just kind of
course.
get at peace at yourself. A mind would say be in key, that string that goes right through you to the center of the earth, and you're there. That doesn't mean you don't get away from it, but you're always feeling the resonance of that.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
Yeah. Great. Immediately, to me, that looks more centered. I mean, that's what I hope to see, but it certainly looked different to me. Okay, and I felt like the communication was much
Yeah.
better. I felt like gesturally, you were communicating with individual members of the ensemble. Facially, you were not.
Okay.
Your face was kind of, I'm back here, and you pay attention out here.
Right.
Let's see if we can just be more engaged
Okay.
with the face. What is your name? Evan. I asked him where he went to school.
Where did you go to school?
Okay, all right. But the entire time, once you asked him a question, you were looking at each other. There was eye contact.
Right.
That's what's got to be there. Okay, and I'll let you never use a baton again if you'll let your eyes communicate with the individual players. Sure. Not the ensemble, not the clarinets, not the flutes, but individual players, human beings that are making music with you.
Right.
Okay? What's all this extra little? Just get set, feel the music inside of you, hear it, and then just start making music. Nice going. Where we just stop? Yeah. How much resonance, and I'm intentionally not telling them where, how much resonance and length do you want on the red list?
Right. Okay.
Do you want?
I'll show that. Should we start right there? Or should I start?
Pick a place in
Okay.
front of it. But you see what I'm after?
Yes.
Yeah, because, I mean, you were absolutely emphatic about how you wanted that to begin. But you didn't give them a musical destination of the shape of the phrase. You just turn them loose and let them go. Okay?
Well, can we start right at bar 21, please? This, before A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 before A.
And that was much better that time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stay small, stay intimate, stay connected with human beings. Okay. This ain't the Grand Ole Opry.
Yep.
Okay, and we always, I call these feel-good gestures. I mean, they just feel good to us, and so we just throw them in occasionally because it just feels so good.
Right.
And anytime that feeling good gets in the way of the beauty of the music.
Yeah.
That was, you get a gold star for that little spot that we were
Okay.
talking about. Great, you can start that same place if you want.
Same place again, please? 8
Yeah,
before A?
yeah, okay. Okay, one more question. What do you think's happened to your tempo?
Oh, slowing down.
Yeah.
Around that.
Yep. You got to keep that internal heartbeat of the music in your desire to refine some things. We let it get away from us. Okay. You got to keep all the plates spinning. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, okay. I want to really challenge you to think about keeping yourself anchored. Okay, and there's not only because of the focus with them, but my personal bias is it's a visual distraction from the audience. All that extra gesture.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But just a few bars started again.
Same place?
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Oh, beginning,
No?
sure.
Yeah,
A beginning, please.
yeah. I just wanted you to do that, just so I want you to, when you look at your video, to analyze what kind of shifted with the tempo as we went. So that, you start building within you that ability, that confidence that I know the tempo I want this music to go.
Right.
And nothing deters your focus from that. Bravo.
All right, thank you.
Hi. I'm Dave. I come from a band in Virginia, one of the Air Force bands, and we have openings for every one of you except for cello. So if you want to talk to Alps, come talk to me. We're going to start 4 before F.
Does that include me too?
Sir, if you want one, you can have mine. Do you need a drum?
I may be over the age limit, but
I think so. Okay. 4 before F, and this is the 4th movement again. And a little faster.
How's it going? You conduct very well.
Thank you, sir.
You don't need any basic conduct. You've got the Good Housing seal of approval on your conducting. So it's very it's very good. It's very good. There's some internal things. I mean, I'm surprised that you missed the fact that she came in way early.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, but then she needed a cue to come back
Yes,
in,
sir.
where she needed to come back in so she could actually go dee-do, 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 dee-do. So you needed some help there.
Yes, sir.
You don't need to keep calling me sir.
It's a habit.
You can't break.
I'll try.
Well, I don't want you to get in trouble when you go home. So which Air Force group you work?
Heritage of America Band?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, from here, this is all really good. Your baton, your hand, all that's working really well. The face began to work really well toward the end. At the beginning, it was a kind of a mask. I wasn't sure how you were feeling or what you were thinking or what was going on, but toward the end, then the face began to work. What is not working, and again, I'm probably going to get you in trouble when you go home, is from here to here. I mean, it does not move.
Okay.
So it seems a little unnatural that when you want to have something happen, it doesn't go, that the body is not moving in sympathy with all the rest of you. Am I making any sense on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I wouldn't change anything here. This is all working great.
Okay.
Let's start anywhere.
Can we start, where did we just leave off? Let's start at the, where the march comes back at I.
Who's the commander of the band there?
Michael Herbert.
Okay.
I, please.
Okay, that's good. It's all good. Again, what you're not doing is what I talked to Ben about too, which was you're not asking them to do things differently once you hear them play, or acknowledging the fact that I really like that.
Okay.
And you don't. All you have to do is go, or smile, or something. I mean, you don't have to go to any great lengths, but you have to do it connected with them. So what do you think about that descending line in the clarinet? Is that too loud or too soft, or?
Am I answering that?
Yeah,
It's a little soft, but I could have done something to reinforce it.
absolutely. Yeah, if you want to correct some things, what you have to do is let everything else go and just do that. So, and you were doing that with the bassoons, which was great, but then there are a lot of other things that, again, you're falling into the trap that so many have, which you're conducting too many people all the time. Again, somewhere.
Let's go with the fifth bar of I. Thank you.
Good. You're doing great, except for one small thing. The tempo.
Yes, sir.
I mean, why don't we ask him how he likes the tempo?
Yeah, so like it's a 318 that's almost unplayable.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough time to spend 6 hours a day to look at that section. So
Yeah, so you need to have an idea of who's playing and what they're playing and how difficult it is and so forth. I mean, okay, if everybody can play it at this tempo, but I would not want to be playing cello during that section. But you're making the grand effort. I mean, it's terrific. So just be careful of things like that. Let me ask you one. This is a dumb question, but where'd you go to school?
Northwestern.
Well, that explains it. That explains why you conduct so well. How's that?
Fair enough.
Did I get out of that one?
Yes, you did. You should email Dr. Thompson and tell her that, so she stopped yelling at me for not using my wrist.
So if you want to use your wrist more,
Yes, sir.
if that's still a problem, I didn't see that as a problem.
Okay.
But
Tell
just,
her that.
but just do a hundred,
Yeah.
do maybe 500 of these a day until this loosens up. Start anywhere and then we're done. Well,
K as in kilo.
you might want to just take a little slightly relaxed more tempo with
Sounds
that.
good. K and just a little less adrenaline.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Nice going.
That sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Are we on time?
it's all good. Nice shot.
And then do you want to keep all of the horns over there? Or?
afternoon. I am Andrew. I'm a band director here in the great state of Texas, and we are going to be doing the Jacob First Movement. Can we stop? I feel like I started slow because I was trying to take the bassoons into consideration, but I think I considered them too much. Can we start at B?
Andrew, let's just go ahead and talk about that for a second. You're doing well, and of course, you're coming back for a second round. Andrew was with us last year, and he just didn't get enough, so he's back. Now, how was that tempo?
It was better. I still feel like I'm trying to pull, though. So I'm not doing something clear enough to demonstrate that I want a little bit faster, but not.
Just beat faster.
Okay.
Just start going faster and see
Okay.
what happens, okay? All right, okay. Forgive me for manipulating this, but could we start at the beginning of that? I want you to start on that same tempo you just did, okay?
Okay.
And then somewhere about 16 bars in, have a conversation with yourself that suggests this is not going the tempo I want to go. And then you start going the tempo you want to go.
Okay.
Okay? We'll
Yes.
just see what happens.
Okay.
I think you'll be amazed.
All right.
Did you feel the power?
Yes.
Yes.
The flute, you helped me out. Thank you.
But just trust them and just simply be very pointed, very articulate with your gesture. And once it settles into the tempo, then you can quit worrying about it anymore. But if you try to be all things to all people at all times, you end up not being anything to anyone.
Okay.
And when the tempo is the issue, you just say, "This is it, man. And just be dead time. No touchy-feely. Just get it locked in, and then go back to the music. Okay? Now that we've defined that, now let's go at the beginning and let's pick the tempo that you want and go from there. Be very careful. Occasionally, when you want to really accentuate something, you want to really call attention, you give a big prep to do that, and you're letting it slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. That's always got to be there. That internal pulse, you've got to feel it somewhere. That heartbeat has to be there. So make sure you don't start slowing down in order to show something.
Got it. Maybe.
go back to C, okay?
Okay.
Let's go back to C. And here's what I want you to do. You may want to think about this a second, okay? I want you to start them, okay? Once 2 bars have gone by, I want you to stop conducting.
Okay.
Okay? In replace of conducting, I just want you to visually engage the sections as they come in.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. All right. Then not worrying about they're going to play. The tempo is going to be there. Everything's going to be fine. But you're going to communicate with these people. Then you're going to communicate with here. Always constantly moving your visual sight and your point of reference to where the interest is. Okay. Okay. And you don't need to any beats whatsoever. It's just here, 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 here. That's all I want to see.
So you want me to cue them, but not in time?
Yeah. Just point at them.
Okay. C, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's better. Would you consent to really looking at them?
Yes.
Yeah, rather than just kind of glancing in their direction?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and at the time you did a couple of those, it started making sense. But that's meant that communication with the individual sections, okay? Again, it's going fine, and much better than last year. You wonder if you improve, you get a big gold star.
Well, thank you.
That's better. I mean, these are little bitty things. So this is a huge compliment to you to be able to do that. And so what happens, is there anything like, is that a mute? Is there anything different in this section than there was in the preceding 8 bars?
Style change.
Ah! Style. Okay? So is the second one is down, up, down as the first one? You went bum, bum, bum. It can, sing it for me, down, bum, bum. Okay, fine, conduct yourself. Flatten that and make the beat more broad. Yeah. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, so let's define 2 different styles.
All right.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-deem, bum, 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 ba-da-dum. Go crazy.
I'm not that far away. See?
Well, be my guest. Give you a lot of little snippets. You can look at and say, I like that, or that's not quite what I want, but now I know what I want. Okay. So now then, what happens when the heavy artillery gets going down here? Is that
that's right here.
Yeah. Is that when it gets? Is there anything different to you? If you put the word all, you describe.
Well, it's more. There's more unison rhythms than there's been for the last.
Yeah, and is there a personality or style change?
Stylistically, it's.
Is it about the same, or should it be more bold?
I would say more bold. Writing in unison.
Yes. Okay. Now that's we're getting. Those are the kinds of conversations you're ready to go to the next level. Okay. And those are the conversations you've got to have with yourself, mentally, artistically, and musically, to make these kinds of decisions. And you just made 3, and all 3 of them were correct.
Yes.
Got it? Okay, so you're on a roll. Keep it up. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
start having that conversation.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Christensen. I just finished my second year teaching high school band.
Now you know where to go next.
Thank you. We're doing a second.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting it to be spelled that way. Hello. So how's it going?
We're here. Going okay.
You sure?
No.
I think it's going really well. With a couple of exceptions, with a couple of things that are cured. One is cured very easily, and the other one is, I'm not sure whether it's cured easily or not. Could be. The one, what's your instrument?
My estimate.
Instrument.
Oh, instrument. Like, pretty, I don't know. Saxophone.
Yeah. Well, you're conducting with a saxophone embouchure almost the whole time, as if you're playing the saxophone. So your mouth is stuck in an embouchure, and what that does is it freezes your face into some non-expressive. So the expression is coming out of your body, out of your hands, out of your arms. It's all working, except it's not working there as much. And if you just open up your mouth a little bit and not try to have like you're actually playing the music, then it'll be better. I was a little surprised because everything was going great until the horns got lost. And I didn't see any recognition. That should have been, whoa, gigants.
Oh, that's how I felt, but I didn't know what to do.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you can just look at them and go.
Sorry, guys.
Because they were questioning, was that right? Were you in the right place there? Because they were both together, lost together. How's that possible? So, but I think then you need to get them back on, and so those sorts of things. So you need to have the awareness, and it's okay when people don't do as well as you'd like them to sort of wince or, really? You know, so do any of those things that are natural reactions for you.
Okay.
Okay? And you
Right now or like?
No, not right, not this second. You can also smile at them when they do things you really like. So the reaction and interaction is not as great as, what is really great is how you ask them to play the next item. That's really good. And if you can react as spontaneously and reactive like that, that would be great. Pick any place that's not the beginning.
We do A.
Okay? Not everybody is sure exactly where you're starting.
Letter A.
And I think they know it's letter A, but they don't know what part of the beat it is. That's the issue. One more time. Very good. How much time do you want on that eighth rest? Because it was like 3 beats long right now.
I wanted the last chord to sound surprising, but perhaps it was too much time in between.
Well, you have to, that's your decision. I might disagree with it, but that doesn't make me right and you wrong. Well, it does, actually.
Yes.
No, I'm only kidding.
No, he's not. He's all.
I didn't bring my T-shirt. Darn it. Cynthia Johnson Turner. Does that name ring a bell to anybody? Yes. Gave me this T-shirt. I did a thing at UGA this year that said, I may not be right, but it's highly unlikely. So you're gonna show us. So put that last note not where your hands, because you want to give a preparatory or something. You put that last note where you think it belongs. Okay. Not too far back.
Can we start at the oboe solo? So 11 from the end.
Can I make a suggestion for everybody?
Yes.
So you want to start 11 from the end.
Yeah.
This has worked for me for years. Count from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's where we're starting. And so they can count with you, so you don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
And then have
11. And then they all go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do that all together and save a lot of time, and everybody is correct. Okay? Hint of the day. That's just where I think it belongs to. It was way different than the time
Yeah.
before. We're gonna have to stop, but that's nice, nice, it's very good. I mean, it's really very good.
Hi there. My name's Christina. I am a saxophonist, and I spent my first 5 years teaching in Indianapolis, but I'm headed to Texas next year to Klein Collins High School, and I'm excited to join you all in the South. Thank you for making time for us today. Movement 1, please. Start right on those 3 pickups, please. And that is pickups into, the pages are all sticking together. Pickups, the solo, please. Pickups 3 before E. Yes.
Well, as long as we're stopped.
Yeah, thanks.
First, there were so many wonderful musical things you were doing at the beginning.
Thank
That was
you.
great. Very, very nice. Great. So, where did you do your undergraduate or graduate work?
I did my undergrad at Indiana University.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to leave Indianapolis and go to Houston?
The great state of Texas. Yeah. I had the opportunity to visit 28 schools in Texas last year as a part of a curriculum redesign.
Okay, all right, great,
And I
great.
loved it.
Well, you're in a wonderful district and a wonderful part of the state. That's great. All this was going fine at the beginning. Let's just kind of get over here where the wheels started coming off. Let's just pick, that we were coming into E, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's just move back. What about at D? Let's just start at D. Okay, just so it's. Okay, it's obvious you want to put a retard in there.
I want to just pull it back a little bit on the diminuendo into that, and then relax a little bit into E.
So you want to start broadening tempo here.
Yeah.
Okay, and in B at a broader tempo, maybe this much. Okay, all right. I think that if that's the case, there needs to be a little bit more of a mood change from you. You can't just continue to be the bum 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 ba-da-dee and all of a sudden start conducting slow. Okay, there needs to be something that says we're doing something differently here. Okay, let's try it one more time before I go under the hood.
D, please.
it's almost, number one, too much information. And number two, Paula Corley, who's a clarinet teacher, talks a lot about natural tempo.
Yeah.
There's something that feels right. And I deep down in your heart and your soul, do you really feel right about what you were doing then?
No, it felt disjunct in a bar earlier than I wanted it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and let's, well, excuse us, we're going to have a conversation. I would try to think, don't worry so much about beat. Just think of the time how you would play it. Your instrument is? What do you think? Saxophone. Okay. So, no more than that. Okay. And backload it just a little bit so it's more, get into here. Okay. I think before you start broadening. Okay. Got it? Okay, let's try that and see, okay? So again, think about how you would be playing it. Not how you're going to conduct it, but how you would play it.
D again, please. I know exactly, it's making sense where I'm getting messed up.
Yeah, and part of it is, it just simply, you're letting the gestures get bigger and bigger and bigger. Stay, yeah. And I feel like that you're waiting to see if he's going to slow down, and then he slows down, then he's waiting to see if you're going to go on. And just going back and forth, just keep going.
Okay.
Let's don't go back so far. Can we start in front of E8 maybe? Yeah, that's good.
So count with me before E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before.
Yeah. See, she paid attention to what Bob said. Good for Bob, good for her. What you're doing is, it's like you're starting to put a subdivide in here. And just, rather than keep going. Okay? Do it once for me, okay? I may not do it any better, right?
Try it again in that same spot, 6 before E.
My personal bias is, it's almost like you're trying to make it so slow that it's contradicting the flow and of the music.
Oh yeah, I'm getting in the way.
Start at E. Just start at E once, the way you want it to go.
Right at E.
Don't analyze anything. Just start at E, like this is me at E. Quite lovely. It's quite lovely. So somehow or other we have to transition into that, and I feel like you're wanting to go much beyond that. Here, you're way below that tempo. Let's don't go back any slower than that tempo. You want to go there. Just keep it going. Okay? But that was much better. And we're going to try one more time. We're going to stop because I got two more things I want to share with you. Ready?
6 before E. One more time. Overstated, but we're getting there. And I think, again, sometimes just pick up your saxophone and play that and say, how would I play that? Not how I would conduct it, okay? Okay, now these are two just little things. We've got an X there that I want you to think about. Number one, and this is a personal pet peeve, and you may just throw it out the window, but I really
try to be very conscious, and I like to see other people never going into this casual left hand hanging down to the side. Okay, let's just keep it out here where you can use it. Because if it's down here and you say, oh, I would love to have my left hand guide the clarinets to this line, it's like, okay, come in left hand, please activate yourself. Shape. I'm done with you, go away. And so there's all this extra motion. And the second, I would like for you to explore as you look at your video, to think about using most of your ictus when you want to ictate. It's right here at this level, it's right here. I would like to see you consider sometimes being higher, and if the music is bold and full, be willing to get down into this area here, not always on that one single plane. Expand your superlatives this way. Okay?
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
First, thank you so much for playing. I appreciate you taking time out of your summer. I'm Hannah. I grew up in Georgia, went to school there, taught there, and just finished my first year of my master's at the University of Colorado in Boulder. So for those of you who know Jeff and Ellen Kennedy, they said to tell you hi, if you know them. Blank stares, great. Let's make some music. You know Jeff, great. I say work with Ellen a lot, but anyways. That didn't work, that was an awkward moment. Let's make music. The second movement, please.
So how's it going? You seem a little bit nervous.
Oh, you know, like a lot, yeah.
Why? I mean, all these people want you to do really well. They're ready to do what you want.
I don't know.
I'm not going to yell at you.
That's good. Thanks. There's, I don't know. They're great players. I need to trust them and enjoy the music.
Yeah, exactly. So why aren't you doing that?
I don't know. I don't really have a good reason.
So how's Colorado? Do you like Colorado?
I do.
Where are you living in Colorado? Are you living in Boulder?
I can't afford Boulder. No, I live right outside Boulder.
My wife and I used to have a place outside Boulder,
Oh, yeah?
up by Netherland.
Oh, no, we live the other direction.
Oh,
We
toward Denver.
Yeah, Lafayette.
Oh, sure. Yeah, one of my good friends lives in Lafayette. Yeah. Okay, now you're a little more relaxed. Let's try again. I think if I could give you one thing that I think would, well, you don't have to go back to the beginning. Let me give you another clue for the day. Players like to get to the end of a piece. So every time you go back and say, let's go from the beginning, it's got kind of a, so you could say, well, let's try the third measure. And then everybody thinks, well, okay, we're making progress. It's psychological, but there's a feeling that they want to keep moving forward. So I'm not a big fan of going back. So is there another place you could go that you'd feel good about?
Well, if we find 22, it's...
You don't have letters or numbers.
Well, I do, but they're very spread out. 1, 2, 3, wait, sorry. 1,
Before
2, 3, 4, 5,
before letter
A.
Before letter A, count with her.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. With the oboe pickup. But there's like no great place in this opening with a measure.
Okay.
That's the horn part. Can we try that one more time? This is
And they're not sure, so you're going to have to cue them. Just know that they're going to need a cue.
okay. It's measure 22 if you want to count from the beginning. With the oboe pickup. Right in the middle of the beginning in A. We shouldn't be coming in together. Let's try that one more time. So, these are...
Just start again. Just start.
Okay.
Okay? One more time.
Okay.
The one thing I want to give to you that I want you to work on when you go back to Colorado, you need to expand your vocabulary. So the conducting you're doing is all very good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But it's like having the same 6 words all over again. Then you try a different inflection on those 6 words. But if you had 25 words, so let's try an experiment. Do you mind experimenting with me? I'll conduct them, but I'm only going to keep them together. I'm not going to do anything musical with them at all. So if they fall apart, it's my fault. And you're going to not even be worried about keeping them together. You're just going to do all the cool stuff. Okay, here we go. Same, please. Okay. Let's start right at letter A. Pick up to A, and now you've reduced to going like this a lot.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to give pulses.
No.
Now forget about the fact whether I'm conducting or not. You do not have to, remember, if they fall apart, it's my fault. So you don't have to keep them together. Pick up to A. I'll start them. Ready? Pick up to A. That's okay, we're gonna have to stop anyway. But see, this was way better than you did at the beginning. I mean, are you aware of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah.
And I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't keeping them together because what you were doing was in pulse. You didn't have to go down, up, down, up, down, up, because when you moved in time. And that's all they needed. So if you just conduct musically, you're wonderful. If you just do beats, 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 you're not as wonderful. I hate to give you this back because you conduct better without it. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I give my best to Don McKinney. I'm doing a conducting workshop there next time.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica Odiva. I'm from South Texas. I recognize some of you from a couple years ago. I will be doing the first movement of the Jacob.
workshops have you been to? Not just here, how many of them total?
Honestly?
No,
31.
31. You must like them. Great, great. Well, we like you, absolutely. And you keep getting better. You're still doing community band?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic, okay. If I were to ask you, where were some spots in your straight run through that you would like to have another swing at? What would they be?
Pickups the letter E.
Okay.
I'm trying to go into a halftime feel without changing the tempo.
This may be me, but as far as the player is concerned, I applaud you for that, your ultimate destination. But going from cut time, going into the, going from the 2/4 into the 4/4 right there, somehow or another, if you would stay with the quarter note pulse for a couple of bars to where it becomes comfortable, and then when the line comes in, there's a spot to go. So sometimes we have to choose our battles in terms of where we make those transitions, because it created a little bit of a little, and it was just kind of cloud came over the ensemble. Is she in 2? Is she 4? What is going on here? We're not sure. Okay, so maybe we could start 6 in front of B. Okay, and all the things all good. We're going to go from here for a few minutes. Okay, and the other thing I would ask you, Erica, once we get into it, and once you get in, be very careful about not waiting for them.
Yeah.
Keep going. Okay, because by the time you were in 2, and occasionally I thought you would kind of wait for them, then they would wait for you, and it made it kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 in front.
This
okay?
is measure 55.
Yeah, and try to just
Stay with it.
stay with the pulse to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 6 before letter E. 410.
Yes.
640.
Okay, good. Okay, more comfortable?
A little more comfortable.
Yeah,
I think that they still weren't really ready for it, so I didn't do something, I think, to catch their attention.
Well, I think there has to be a preview of coming attractions. There has to be either in your facial or where you place your gestures or in your posture that says something different is going to be happening. And you need to be thinking all the way back here about the fact that that's where you're going to make that change. But this was all much better that time. And why did you start over the second time?
I wasn't thinking about the tempo.
Okay, all right, good.
I wasn't
good,
engaged.
Good, good. And she gets a gold star for that. Okay? For the fact that she realized that the wheels were not going to be aligned, and she just stopped rather than going on and saying, I hope it'll get back together. No, be a conductor and take charge. You did that well.
Same spot, guys. 6 before E.
Okay, fine. Who was not with you?
The clarinets.
That's not what I heard. What I heard was that.
Oh, okay.
Once the oboe gets going here, I mean that's all lovely, but then you've got this very important. There needs to be some positive. Bing, bong, bing.
Yes.
So there's energy on that second half note of the bar. They need to know where that is. Okay?
Same spot.
A fountain. We'll try to keep going this time.
That's all right. 6 before E.
What did you hear then?
I heard alignment problems because I'm not thinking enough in pulse as we do it.
Yes, dear. You're absolutely right. You're just kind of stirring a pot up here. Somehow none of that, it's still got to be inside of you. It's got to be there. And you're allowing the beat to speed up or slow down. And they're doing the best they can to keep their nose above water and hanging in there. But you're kind of confusing because you're not constantly, it's always going to be there. That was, I certainly hope you heard the difference in solidity there.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
That
that
was
was great, yeah. Okay, let's just start maybe, just right at E.
Okay, ready.
Right at E.
Ready, please? Or the pickup team? Pickup team, please.
Just start right on, just on the down.
Right on E, right on E.
Keep it in your head. We're going to have to stop, but I want you to look at have an equation, a conversation with yourself about why you decided to meld 4 beats in a row in the middle of a moving line. Because that was, I mean, up to that was great, but then all of a sudden it just kind of, and I don't know whether you had a musical reason for wanting to do that, or if so, was it a musical reason that you could have achieved without creating the mystery? Because and all of a sudden it was just kind of like, you went into Oz for a couple of measures there. No Oz. Got it? Okay, thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Great.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ogechi Kazu. I've been teaching high school and middle school band in the Houston area for the past 8 years, and next year I'll be doing a visiting professorship just north of here at Mary Hardin Baylor, directing the ensembles there, jazz and wind and pep band and all that. So you guys sound terrific. I'm excited to make music with you. So we're doing the second movement of the Jacob. Sorry. Sorry. better at the end.
Yeah, there were just too many beats in
Yeah.
there.
I
I mean,
did
they
one, two,
did what you wanted
Yeah.
them to do, but.
But not because I did it, right,
Yeah.
right,
That-
right.
That was a minor glitch.
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah. I think you do everything really well. I'd like to add some things to what you're doing.
Okay.
If you can think about how you want, oh, let's pick a spot.
Okay.
How you want some things to be done. Where's that little guy?
There?
Yeah, yeah. So do you want the direction of this? Before A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With a pickup, all that low stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Here, you get your choice. I'll give you a smorgasbord and you can just pick up,
Okay.
okay? Again? We won't get there. Again? Any of those you like?
I like the first one.
Yeah, so do I. Maybe I did that more convincing.
Yeah.
But the one I like the least is this one.
Just keep it moving. Got it. Yes, sir. Yep.
So, and that was, I just picked that spot because there was a lot of spots in here that could have used your guidance
Yeah.
as to the direction of the phrase and how it goes.
Right.
Because this is just the basic information.
Yeah.
Because it's a folk song, you can
Right.
do it whatever you want. If it were Mozart or Haydn, you might be a little bit more constrained, but not here.
Yeah.
So you can start wherever you want.
All right. Yeah, let's start there. This is measure 36.
And add your own personal touches.
Got it.
Okay, that's better.
Yes.
That's better.
Yeah.
I still think I think you need to unleash yourself. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. You're relying on your natural physical talent to do this. And you've got a lot of it. So when you conduct, it feels good what you do and you're communicating that to the people, but you're being chained by that also, in that you're not thinking about where does this little nugget of music, what is it, how does it evolve into itself?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I'm not explaining myself very well, I realize that. There's so many little gems in this
Yeah.
that you could take advantage of, that I want you to do that. I want you to do things that, oh, I didn't like the way that happened.
Okay.
I mean, just experiment
I see what
enough to
you're
so that, or you could say, oh, I want to keep that one, but I didn't like that one.
Alright.
So you can start
Okay.
here or some other place. A is good too, so whatever.
Yeah, let's start at A.
So where'd you go to school?
University of Houston.
Did you really?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, you blow my mind when you said that. It's like you're not, who did you study with there?
I don't know. I didn't get this from there. I did my master's at Sam Houston with Matthew McIntyre.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you study with,
Well, Mr. Bennett was my
yeah,
conducting
I know.
teacher.
Well, it could have been, the predecessor.
Yes, sir.
They were both in the same
Yeah.
philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Did you work with Frank Krager at all?
No, not at all.
No, that's too bad.
But I watched him a lot.
Yeah.
I watched him a lot.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Okay.
We need to have a talk.
Yes, I know. I know. Yeah, let's start right at A. Ready? Thank you, sir.
We are on break. Our next conductor will go on at 5:22. Thank you guys so much.
Not 5:23.
How did I get here?
Yeah, how did you do it? How did you do what you do?
I mean, a lot of that.
I can feel the music coming out of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate my training.
I'm sure we got a lot of skills about how to teach you what's right and what's wrong, what's internal, what's not.
Right, absolutely. And coming out, I had no idea. That there's this world, honestly, I had no idea. Again.
And I have a question.
You've got the goods.
Can we move?
Real talent.
I'm just really
So where are you now?
I taught for Houston. Yeah, I'm really excited.
So you filling in for someone that's around?
Yeah, he's going to
That's a very smart thing to do. You're teaching in college.
Yeah. And so hopefully he can make it.
What are you trying to do? Well, here's a great spot. I mean, there are just a handful of places. It's gonna sound stupid. But
He's one of my former students.
there's just a handful of places to go that deserve you. It's gonna be fun. And it's just wondering.
Right? I hadn't thought about that. I mean, I thought about it.
It's a different place than you think it is. It's not. There's a guy that came up in the window that was created a really wonderful music. I mean, this is certainly, and those are all A plus. This is certainly in that A category.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's none at UNC this year. I guess they're training off.
Semi-wasted your time here because I'm not in a program that has graduate students. So you only get
But I really want to. That's all I'm saying. I did the LSU one earlier this year.
If you can take a minute.
I knew you were going to have that reaction, just because that's
happened to your face?
Oh, I grew some hair on it.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
You doing well?
I'm doing great.
Slack and put the pad back in. Where they went.
Well, you lucky guy, you get to conduct this piece.
Sit down, Bob.
My name's Brent. I've been teaching high school for the last 8 years in California. Where? Vista Marietta High School. It's about the halfway point between San Diego and LA in Marietta.
Okay. Did anybody give an A?
Yep.
Yes.
They did? Okay, I guess I was talking to somebody. Sorry. Yes, sir.
Here we go.
lot there to talk about, isn't it? The beautiful music. I will preface any comment I make to you by saying that anything I say I will feel self-conscious about. because Bob probably knows more about this piece than any other walking, breathing person. And
Just because I'm older.
is that what it is? But anyway, let's go back. And the first thought that came to my mind is very simplistic, but it's just simply less is more. And there's a lot of just superfluous gesture that gets you from one point to the other that probably doesn't have a whole lot of real, it may feel good, it may connect for you, but as far as it communicating musically, it doesn't embellish anything that we're doing. And I'm thinking that if you could just be more compact, you wouldn't be as addicted to moving around quite so much over the time. Can you describe in any way whatsoever how you want these first four notes to sound?
Resonant, so we can hear the chord.
Okay.
And weight.
Ah. Do that again. Would you just play the first chord? Okay. Okay. And just give us you sound great. Just give us that beautiful sound. And I just want you to think about this. May sound like smoke and mirrors. I just want you to think about holding that note. Just hold. It's a precious possession. Okay. We're not going on. Just one note. Just the big chord, and you hold it. Difference in the sound?
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference in the sound. Go for it, man. That's better. Would you be willing to put just not so much jabbing or just love it? That's fine. Okay, now let's go ahead. With that sense of musical awareness and sonority, let's continue this time. But you can't turn loose of that. It's a treasure. Do you not love the second statement as much as you do the first one?
Oh, I tried to love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one.
Try harder. Yeah. Yeah. Try harder. Okay. And perhaps when you're with the clarinet entrances here, which are marked those here, very sweet. I don't know that you need to put that much. Just engage them, not play clarinets. Just that's all. Just invite them to be beautiful. I want you to show more in the prep. That. Okay. Into this section here, the more comfortable you started feeling, apparently. It was more natural to you. But you were kind of getting into the, getting back into your habit of little backbeat going on in there. Could we start can we start measure 6? Okay? Or measure 7 would be better. Let's start measure 7. Okay. Legislature. I know that Jerry will get in a conversation, or Bob will, about ornamentation, so we won't take time for that right now. But is there any personality change in here? It's what the big F7 chord right there? What is it? Give me some words.
Sets the stage for that.
Okay.
Much stronger in character.
Okay, stronger in character. Okay, all right, great. Can we just start at the beginning of that bar?
This is 14.
Yeah, and do you feel the need for a subdivision there? Do you want to define it that much? There's no wrong answer.
We can go with no.
No, well, you don't have to.
14.
Go ahead, I just want to see a little bit of the next section, and we're going to have to stop. But when you look at your video, think about when he goes into the allegro here, that maybe, like Jerry was talking earlier today, about putting more of the focus near the end of the stick rather than back here. All this up to here has been this, but all of a sudden, exactly. And that may be just something you need to rest your elbow on something and just get to the point that you feel very confident and very comfortable just defining the pulse of the music all the way out here. Okay? That got better. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you. You bet. Thank you.
In the allegro section, those things that look like grace notes are actually appoggiaturas, and they come on the beat with the stress on the appoggiaturas.
Do dee dia dum, dia dum, dia dum.
That's the way those are done. Third one.
Enjoy. Thank you all for playing. Really appreciate it. Great music.
My name's Andrew Kaiser. I teach high school band in Northeast Indiana.
What town?
Angola.
Okay.
About 5 minutes from Michigan, 10 minutes from Ohio. So right at the center of that.
The world, yeah. stop and get one of our three soloists with us again.
Okay.
I mean, it's a piece for three players. But everybody else thinks it's a piece for everybody. This is a piece for three players. It's like an opera with.
Yes.
Okay, let's go again.
From the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easier than counting measures.
Beginning. Thank you.
Let's go in the second section.
Okay.
That's good. You're doing very well.
Thanks.
I'm a little, I'd like to, if it were me, I'd like to alter the way you're holding the stick.
Okay.
For this piece, for this movement of this piece.
Okay.
It seems too firm.
Okay.
This piece is more of a ooh piece. And if you do this, then it gives the atmosphere of
Gotcha.
And I'd keep your attention on these three players. Because these guys like to get louder. I mean, they think they're more important than they really are.
Okay.
These are the three soloists. Everybody else is just in the background.
Okay.
And then you can guide them. I mean, he did some nice directional things, and most of which I agreed with. But I wasn't convinced that you were convinced.
Okay. I wasn't. But I can help that.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you need to do is, and you may have probably already done this, is make the decision.
Yeah.
Like, where does this line go that starts this way? Does it go to the high point of the phrase, or does it go, where is it? Where does the middle section start? Okay. Yeah.
The minor section?
Yeah. Yeah, what, you have measure, measure?
Yep.
Is that 18? 18? We got it all? 18?